Hey, it's Liz from West Star Tarot, and today I'm making a video to discuss three decks that I am enjoying working with right now. The first one I wanted to talk about is the let me do here, JK Tarot. It is a Rider-Waite-Smith derivative, and Tarot Collectibles has reissued the deck. It was originally released in 1975 in Japan, and it says here, the original tarot deck was named J.K. Waite and was made in Japan, released in 1975. The cards were illustrated by Seigan Nakajima in Tokyo, and the writing of the guidebook was by Alexandria Mokuseu in Kobe, Japan. And I am really loving this deck quite a bit. At first I sort of had backer's remorse, thinking, oh my gosh, why did I back yet another Rider-Waite-Smith derivative? But honestly, I am not only enjoying the coloration of this deck and the reworking of the Pamela Coleman Smith's, look at that, artwork, but the draws, the pulls, the readings I've been getting have been amazing, really powerful, full of majors, and all kinds of interesting configurations, really powerful messages. And I am really enjoying this deck. I'm so glad that I backed it and that I have it. This is the original. They also released at the same time, Tarot Collectibles did. They kind of fixed up, cleaned up the artwork on this deck. But I decided to go with the original, and I figured I really didn't need two versions of this deck. But hey, you never know. Oh, I love it. Look at it. Look at the, it's so, I don't know, kind of whimsical and colorful, and I don't know. As I said, the readings I've been getting are really powerful, and of course it's a Rider-Waite-Smith, so it's very readable and very relatable if you're a Rider-Waite-Smith person, which I am. So anyway, this is wonderful. I'm really enjoying it. JK stands for Jupiter King, and I'm really loving it. So the next deck I wanted to talk about is called Black Tarot. It is also Rider-Waite-Smith based. It's called An Ancestral Awakening Guidebook, and the guidebook is written by Nyasha Williams, and the cards are illustrated by Kamishka Naidu, and really enjoying this deck quite a bit. It is a remake based on the Rider-Waite-Smith iconography. But let me just tell you, I did make a video about this deck when I first got it. But here's what Nyasha has to say. I have been interested in tarot, astrology, and magic from the moment I was able to read chapter books. My spirituality has developed and evolved through unlearning and learning, decolonizing my mind and spirituality. I have been learning to embrace spiritual practices that were taken from communities of color, tribes, and groups. Many of our long-established spiritual practices have been demonized through colonization, the media, Hollywood, white supremacy, and under the guise of Christianity. We have significant work to do as a world to untrain ourselves, our minds, actions, and habits from the lies and propaganda we have been fed for generations by those who currently hold power at the top. So that is something that I'm trying to do, to unlearn the propaganda that I have been fed. And it's funny, I live not far from Plymouth, Massachusetts, and talk about propaganda. So about a year or so ago, I was in Plymouth for a women's march, a pro abortion, pro choice, anti misogyny march. And as we were marching through the town of Plymouth, we kept going by these plaques that were saying all this propaganda about the history of Plymouth, Massachusetts. And I remember at one point thinking to myself, why did our teachers teach us that? Why did they teach us those lies? And then I thought, oh, because they were taught those lies, and they were taught those lies. And so at some point, we have to say, enough. And as Nyasha says, we have to retrain our minds, our habits, and our behaviors. And we have to unlearn the propaganda and replace it with the truth. And so that is something that I have been working on for quite some time. And, you know, I will be for the rest of my life. But this deck and guidebook really are speaking to the unlearning that I'm trying to do. Not to mention that I love the artwork. So let's see, I pulled a couple cards out. So I wanted to pull out, here we have the suits. So the suits are named knives, wands, baskets for cups, and coins. So that's just a random sample of cards that I pulled out. And then the quartz are sons, daughters, fathers, and mothers. Here's just a random sampling of what some of the majors look like. So here we have the devil. Sorry, I'm looking at it rather than showing you all. I love this Hierophant. I love this Hierophant. I just love it. Hierophant. The World. And the Emperor. And I think I only have maybe one other deck that I can think of off the top of my head that shows an emperor card with an emperor and a child. You know, and so often we hear people talking about the empress as mothering, nurturing, caretaking, and that always gets me, because it's like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to say there isn't an aspect of that to the Empress card, but why is it that we never talk about the parenting aspect of the Emperor card? Why is the Emperor a leader and a rule maker and, you know, brings stability and power and focus? So I really like how they have portrayed the parenting side of the Emperor. This is my most recent pull. I pulled 2 or 3 days ago. I got the 5. This is just a daily draw. 5 of baskets, 6 of coins, and the sun. And I just felt like this message was quite powerful for me. And I'll just leave it at that. So that is Black Tarot. And then the next deck that I just started working with today is the Maria Tarot. This I think will be less shiny. There we go. This I backed on Kickstarter, and I always put in the guidebooks when I receive the decks, just so I'll know, I'll be able to kind of chronologically know when I think, oh, how long have I had this deck? So this arrived January 2024. I backed it, of course, well before then. And I think I did maybe do a deck interview or something with it, but it's just been sitting on my shelf in my bedroom, and right across from my bed, and every night I'm in bed reading or whatever, and I look across and I see the deck, and I'm like, gotta use that deck. It's Thoth based, and I'm not a fan of Thoth. I am definitely not a fan of talk about misogynist, white supremacist, whatever, Aleister Crowley. And that's always kind of turned me off from those decks. But I saw this, and I really loved the artwork, and I thought, I'm going to back this. I'm really glad I did. I just want to tell you, so it's by Masha Kulinovic, and Masha says that, she apparently lives in Italy, and but I don't believe she's Italian. English is not her first language, and yet this guidebook, which is really good, really, really good, English is not her first language, and so it's pretty impressive that she wrote such an erudite, expressive, intellectually understandable, really powerful guidebook in a language that isn't her primary language. I was pretty impressed. So what she says, and this print is really small, and it's also not black, it's gray, so I may be stumbling over this. So what she says is, the idea for the Maria Tarot was conceived in March of 2020 during the lockdown period. My friends from the art club Merce Marcea from Livorno asked me to create a work for a virtual exhibition to commemorate April 25th, the anniversary of Italy's liberation from fascism. It was inspired by the Tower card. So there's her woodcut that she did for the exhibit. And she said, this project kindled my passion for the Thoth Tarot and sparked my decision to reimagine Crowley's unique system in a contemporary way. The Maria Tarot is an ode to the conception, Crowley's conceptual work, and Lady Harris's powerful designs, which influence this project, as the moon influences the tides. It took me over a year to make all the cards, working every single day, and another 6 months to write the instruction booklet. But I mean, it's a lot. It's meaty. Be kind. I am not a writer, and English is not my mother tongue. And I assure you, making the synthesis of such a complex thing is not easy at all. The book should be just a starting point that will lead you to deepen your own explorations. The Maria Tarot has been a long and difficult project, but it has helped me to break out of my shell and free my soul. I hope it will help you along a similar path. And in fact, right inside the box, it says that. This deck came with a Tree of Life card, and this beautiful, here we go, Tree of Life diagram. And yay, a decking wheel. And it's big enough so that I can read it without squinting. Really makes me happy. So it came with those two things. Let me show you. This is, I just, again, randomly pulled out, so this is the art card, Temperance, the Empress. Are we seeing this? There we go. The Hermit, which I really like quite a bit. And I pulled out the Tower because Masha references this card as the influence. Here's a sampling of court cards. Oh, here we go. Prince of Wands, Knight of Discs, Princess of Cups, and Queen of Swords. And what I just dropped on the floor was the pull I did today. So I am spending this week participating in a workshop that is being, that was created by Racine from the the YouTube channel Owl Moon 513. Racine is well known on YouTube, has like 20,000 followers, and is often offering things for the community. And so this week she has offered a workshop called Forget That Deck. And she has created, I think, 4 or 5 spreads that we're to do over the course of this week. No, 3 spreads, 5 journal prompts, a guided meditation, and then she asked that we do daily draws for the entire week. And what we're to do with this workshop, is decide, is it time to forget this deck? Is it time? So the idea is you work with a deck that you haven't been able to connect with, or that, like for me, it's just been sitting on my shelf being ignored, and you'll pull it out and do these prompts and spreads and daily draws over the course of the next 7 days, and decide, yeah, I am connected to this deck. I do want to keep this deck, or you know what? I think this deck is not for me right now, and I'm going to pass it along to somebody else. So I haven't done Racine's first spread yet. I'm going to do that after I finish this video. But I did do my first daily draw. And, well, I'll let you be the judge. I got the Knight of Swords, the 2 of Wands, which is my Decan card. I'm March 23rd, so I'm Aries 1. And Fortune. And you see the lightning? So I'm just seeing, even though this is a sword, not a wand, there's so much action and forward motion and momentum, and of course so fiery in the wands and the lightning in this card. And I just wanted to, what did I do with I wanted to pull out the guidebook, but I don't know what I put it. But anyway, oh, here it is. So I thought the Fortune was so interesting because Masha talks about the numerology. So she talks about the number 10. 10 represents the tetractys, which is a equilateral triangle made of 10 points. and I had, it's a Pythagorean theory, and I had studied that concept and the Tetractys, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7, I don't know how many years ago, and I had found it fascinating. And then I had kind of, in my Aries sanguine way, had, since then gone on to a million other things that were interesting me. So to see this again, I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. So it's an equilateral triangle consisting of 10 points arranged in 4 rows, 1 point on the first row, 2 on the second, and so forth. And then she talks about the number 10. 10 is the number of perfection, which returns to oneness. So 10 equals 1 plus 0 equals 1. So we go from the perfection of 10 to oneness. And I've been thinking a lot about the concept of oneness this past week, because less than a week ago, I went to a concert, the Marley Brothers. So it was Bob Marley's, 5 of Bob Marley's sons doing a tribute to him. So they played over I think about 2.5 hours of all Bob's music. And as someone who is a total roots reggae fan, I'm old enough so that I'm fortunate enough that I actually got to see Bob Marley in concert, and Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailers and the I3, so the original Wailers. And just hearing his sons play that music. And of course, there's a lot about one love and oneness in that roots reggae music. And so I've been thinking a lot about oneness and one love this past week. So to get that card and to get that Masha's discussion of the number 10 really, I thought was timely and interesting. And I'm so blown away by these 3 cards. I'm thinking, well, I don't even think I need to do the rest of Racine's workshop, because I think the first pull gave me my answer. No, I don't want to forget this deck. Wow. But I am going to continue to participate in this week-long workshop that Racine has prepared for us. And we'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind by the end of the week. I don't know. I will be posting on Instagram my draws. And, at some point I'll make a video about how this all played out. But anyway, those are the 3 decks that I'm working with right now, and wow, I'm invigorated and enthralled and getting incredible messages from these 3 decks, and I'm really excited about these 3 decks. What decks are exciting you right now? Leave a comment, would you please? Let me know. Have you worked with any of these decks? And what are your thoughts about decks that are really kind of sparking your interest and really giving you incredible readings? As always, my friends, peace and love.